Hey guys, welcome to another video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to show you how to fix your phone if it's overheating or getting really hot without anything that you're doing yourself. Now, there's multiple reasons why your iPhone may be overheating. Maybe you're having a battery drainage issue, and it could be a couple reasons, but this video we're going to talk about some of the software things you can do to resolve that issue. So let's dive right into it. So the very first thing whenever you're having issues with overheating or charging is that, first of all, if you're charging it on a charger, take it off the charger because that could damage your phone. The next thing is make sure that if you're using a charger that you're using a genuine Apple charger, and that's really important. A lot of times people will use third-party pretty much chargers that they don't really know if they're actually good for their phone or not. And sometimes if it's a cheaply made charger, it could actually be damaging your phone, overheating the battery, and maybe putting too much power into your phone, which the phone cannot handle. So I recommend, depending on your phone, make sure that the cable itself and the wall adapter are both from Apple and they're genuine Apple charger itself. So really important to use a genuine charger. The next thing, of course, if you're having still issue, is sometimes there's really fancy cases out there we see that actually prevent your phone from actually getting the proper cooling that it requires whenever it's on charge. So I recommend, if you got a new case or a case that's really bulky, try going and removing the case to see if that also helps for your device. If it does help, it may be that case that you're using, depending on what material that case is made out of. Again, it's another kind of shot in the dark, but you also want to test that out to make sure that's not the issue. Along with that is, if you also are using a screen protector cover like this one, for example, there's some really nice tempered glass out there, but also does impact the way that it helps your phone retain temperature and heat. So you also want to make sure that if you're using a tempered glass, make sure that tempered glass isn't causing that issue. I recommend, if you got a new tempered glass, maybe removing it and trying it to see if that helps. But tempered glass generally isn't the case, but again, there are some crazy tempered glasses out there that you want to check out. Now, the next thing when it comes to overheating, it also has to deal with the environment that your phone is in. And what we mean by that, if you're in somewhere that's extremely hot, right, and you're trying to charge your phone, maybe it's in the car, maybe by a window or somewhere where there's direct sunlight hitting your phone, and it might not, and you're charging it at the same time, that sunlight is actually making your phone possibly hot. So you want to remove it from that environment. If you can, try to charge it at a cool, ideal state, because again, like with anything, if sunlight is hitting it and it's really hot, even when you're charging it, it's going to feel like it's getting hotter by itself. Now, after you kind of remove those environment thing, the case and stuff, making sure you're using a genuine Apple charger, it's time to kind of look at the phone itself here. The first thing I like to do whenever I experience some sort of heating or hotness on my phone is I swipe up here and go ahead and close out all the apps that are open. And the reason why you want to do that is that over time, if you have a bunch of apps that are opening up in your background, they're kind of looking for power and using the internet and kind of putting a lot of stress on your phone. So kind of go ahead and close out all the apps that you have. And if you have like tons of apps, it helps also kind of improve the performance of your phone. Now, the other thing you also want to check out is that if you're using apps, let's say you're playing, especially when it comes to heavy graphic gaming, we see some games that require a lot of power. Now, then that could be impacting your phone. I suggest stop playing the game for a bit, let the phone cool down, and then play the game afterwards. And if you see that's kind of happening over and over again, go ahead into your app store and make sure your phone apps are up to date. In order to do that, you go to the App Store, click on your profile icon here, and you'll see here updates for all the apps that require update. You can update all of them, which I highly suggest, or you can find the apps and update them one by one. And especially if you have a gaming app, make sure it's up to date, because some gaming apps, whenever there's a new iOS version out, might also have a updated game to kind of address any sort of issues that it might impact the phone as well. Along with that is that if you're using any sort of GPS related apps like maps, any tracking apps, also those apps tend to take or cause your phone to overheat. Make sure you also check those out and close it out. Now, the other thing you can also do in your settings is by opening up your settings here, going to general, and then background app refresh. Take a look at all the apps that are running in the background. As you can see here, a lot of apps sometimes run in the background that they really necessarily don't need to. And the reason why app background kind of is enabled by default is that you can get constantly updates from those apps, but sometimes you might not really need that, and you can turn those off. So I suggest going through the list, seeing apps that you don't absolutely need to know the notification all the time, and go ahead and turn those off. if you can, turn all of them off, but again, depends on you. Things like, for example, mail, you might want a constant mail update, like push notification, you might want to turn it on. But other apps like, shopping apps and things like that, you want to turn it off. And if you want, you could turn all of them off by simply clicking on here and everything is off, which is the most suggested way to do if you want to kind of improve your battery life and kind of reduce the amount of battery your phone is using up and causing potentially any overheating that you're getting. Along with that, in your settings, is that next thing you want to check out in your settings is your battery. And in the battery options, you can see there's a bunch of options here, but under your battery health and charging, you want to ensure that optimized battery charging is enabled. And the reason why you want optimized battery charging is enabled is that, first of all, it helps your battery have a more prolonged, healthy battery life over time. Also, it helps if your battery, for example, hits 80% charging, it slows it down so that it doesn't cause the battery to try to hit 100% and push all that power into your phone when it really doesn't need it. Ideally, you want your phone to be between 20 to 80% in between those range so that your maximum battery health stays at 100% for a longer period of time instead of losing that battery health over time, which is one of the biggest suggestions we make to users trying to make sure that battery health is 100% over a long period of time. And after you have done that, the next thing you can do if you're still having issues with your battery or your iPhone overheating is doing a forced restart. Especially is important whenever you do a software update. In order to do a forced restart, you do volume up or volume down, one and after, and then you hold the side button like that. And you're going to keep on holding the side button until the screen goes completely black and you see the Apple logo reappear again. So I'm going to keep on holding it. As you can see, it went black. Don't worry. We're going to wait till the Apple logo reappears, and then we'll let go of it. Again, make sure it's volume up and then volume down one after another, and then hold the side button. And again, what this does is it doesn't delete any of your personal data like photos, videos, apps, anything like that. What it does is turns off the phone completely and then reloads the code. So if there is any software related issue causing your phone from overheating from bad bugs or glitches, it will resolve those issues for you. And lastly, one of the big things when it comes to any sort of software issue that you want to do is make sure your phone is up to date by going to your settings, general, and then software update, and check if there's an update available for you. Generally, if there's the update available, it will say download and install, and you want to download and install. And the reason why it is because previous update may be a bad update for your phone, and Apple discovered that issue and they released a fix for it, and that's why the latest version update will resolve that issue for you. When you do update it, remember to give yourself enough time, half an hour to 45 minutes. Also, make sure you have a good Wi-Fi or cellular data connection and your phone is at least 50% or more for the update to successfully happen. So that's it for this video. Hopefully by now your overheating issue is resolved with your iPhone. If so, please make that like and subscribe button. Also share with us with your experience if you found a better way to fix the overheating or any experience that you had with overheating on your phone so that others can also understand and learn about the issues that are going on with the iPhone. So hopefully this video is helpful. If so, please make that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.